this is a really old one. He's got a lot of newer ones, but Big K versus 7:30. Do not waste your time watching 7:30 because it is, I'm telling you, it's awful. That's it right there.
Before we even start, man, I just want everybody to know, man, I'm missing my brother's funeral for coming up here, man.
Wait, which one is him?
He's the white guy.
Oh, he's the white guy. You ain't tell me he was a white rapper.
Yeah.
Come on. Shout out to my white boys.
With that being said, fuck boy, dick sucker, loser, that fits you. I got a gym star that'll leak out every gallon of fluid that's in you. Cause you ain't nothing but food on that menu. I will smack this shit out you, then boot it back in you.
Yo, hold up.
I got 100 shot drum and the
Yo.
clip is full. I sick my wolves at his sheep, tell him get the wool. Shotgun pumps that can flip a bull. I'ma have body parts everywhere like a pick and pull.
That's crazy. The pick and pull bar. If you see a white boy with a white tee and his hat is like that,
bro,
he's there. He's on business. He's there. He means business.
He's a battle rapper from Norfolk. He actually just won Battle Rapper of the Year last year. I met him through a Twitter beef. Like somebody.
What Twitter beef?
It was like I tweeted something and he like said something slick back. I was like, yo, who the fuck are you?
Oh, you were beefing with him?
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. I had met him.
Bro's about to drop a diss
we were just
track.
talking shit, but then I didn't even know this battle league shit existed. I was thinking like freestyle battling, like just in your house. And I was like, yo, nobody checking for like no freestyle battlers. He's like, I'm the nicest in the area. I was like, okay, cool. Like, but then we saw him out. We saw him out somewhere one night, and I was like, yo, like it's no hard feelings. Like I'm not out here to make enemies.
Bro, so what's that shit you were saying on Twitter? Like, yeah, I'm right here now.
He's good people though. I fuck with him heavy. My come up, I had a few bar owners who kind of taught me the bar business. So I incorporate that into my set sometimes. And it's not just how many hot songs can you play in a row. Like, oh man, you killing it. If you're killing it too much, the bar ain't gonna make any money. You ain't gonna get booked again.
Why? Because they're dancing too much and not drinking?
Yeah. So my kind of some of my sets, depending on where I'm at, like there's sometimes where a creative set is that's what you're booked for. But sometimes you're there to be the music for a bar. You're there to entertain everybody in there. But part of doing that too is to drive people to spend money in the bar. So I would play 4 or 5 hot ass records and then play 2 rock songs.
Give them a second to go to the bar.
And they'd be like, what the fuck is this? And then those people who like the fire records, they go to the bar, and whatever weirdos were at the bar waiting for this weird rock song, they on the dance floor now. So you just kind of cycling people in and out. And then I play 2 country songs or 2 R&B songs. If you cycle it like that, you can make some money in this business.
I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. So
give people a break to go to the bar, go to the bathroom, go smoke a cigarette maybe.
Yeah.
100 cowboys might walk in, or 100 grandmas.
That's what you got. You've seen it.
We have a real life example of that. Can you pull that up, Karen?
You've seen it.
Pull up the grandmas that were at CanRock set, because I took a picture with them. Pull up the tweet first.
30 grannies in the bar.
30 grannies throwing ass at duck dive. I'm in tears. So I was like, wait, I got to go see this for myself. I pull up. We take a picture. Gang shit. Go to the video too, because he just said he tries to keep the crowd happy. But these elders had a song request, and I want to say you ignored them. Why did you ignore these old ladies like this, sir?
I think Gabe played it after me because we were switching our sets.
What do they want to hear?
Akon?
But yeah, so I was kind of searching through Twitter. You posted a lot of stuff that I wanted to ask about, like just like some cool people you opened up for.
Sure.
Like you opened up for like DMX. I wrote it down, like Bone Thugs. You said Bone Thugs was joking on you too. We can get into all that. You opened for Cassidy. Yeah. I want to get into all this, but maybe we can just start with, because I know you're a golf player. I've been seeing you post about Get Loose Golf a lot.
Yeah.
Is that your company? What is Get Loose Golf?
Yeah, so I got 2 partners in it. Two guys I've known a long time, really good dudes, and we're all kind of good at certain things to help this thing move along. But it kind of started, I was going on a golf trip with one of my buddies. We were flying to Tampa in the wintertime. So I was trying to get some practice cuts in, and you can't golf in January in Virginia sometimes because it's rough out there. So I looked up, I Googled golf simulators. I was like, oh, there's got to be somewhere hidden. There was 2 in like all of Hampton Roads at the time, and they were both they're just kind of iffy.
Like indoor stuff?
Yeah, and they were just they're like 12 years old, so they're old, beat up. Like the computer shocked me when I was using it. I was like, nah. So my partner had a property. He was like, man, I got to figure out a business to put in here. And so I had just happened to be Googling all this simulator stuff because I had just been to one. And I was like, yo, you should put a simulator in here. And we went on that golf trip. We talked about it. We came back and it was full force. So we're doing merch. We got an indoor simulator space. So basically you and 4 buddies can go in there. You can goof around and play, or you can play 18 holes. You can play some of the best courses in the area, private courses you can't even get on in real life. But it's the cool thing is you're not just going to a driving range and hitting a bucket of balls into a field. You're actually getting like feedback from computer programs and data.
What kind of feedback?
Like your backspin, how you're hitting the ball. Basically, it's if you want to get better at golf, it's the best way to do it the fastest.
So in there is not the actual field. It's one of those ones where there's like a monitor type
right,
thing.
It's got a big hitting mat. Yeah, you hit into the mat, but it's got a launch monitor that reads all the stats and basically tells you how your swing looks. When I hurt my shoulder and I stopped playing that same month, I'm on MySpace scrolling so you can see people's bulletins, their posts or whatnot. And this guy puts up a bulletin. He's like, turntables for sale. And I was like, oh shit, anytime I saw him at a party or something, I'd be mesmerized. Like, oh, I want to learn how to do that. So this dude, I didn't even have a car at the time, which is like the funniest part. He lived like 8 blocks away from me. He's like, yeah, come get, I'll sell you the whole rig for $150.
You walked over there?
Yeah, I walked 8 blocks. And the bad part was it wasn't like cases. It was one case, like the big coffin. So it was like this big, full of gear, 2 turntables, mixer, wires. And I just threw that thing on my back. Just trucked it 8 blocks. Yeah, back to the crib.
And this is one of those this is like the original like turntable. It's
belt
not like
drive. DJs will understand what this was. It was $150 for the coffin, 2 belt drive turntables, and an old Newmark 2-channel just basic mixer. So the whole thing retail was probably worth about $700, $800.
Oh, so you got a deal on it then.
Oh, hell yeah. He bought it for his girlfriend and she was like, what the fuck is this? Like,
she didn't even like.
She's like, I didn't ask for this. He's like, oh.
Like trying to live vicariously through his girl.
Thought you would like it.
So you walk back 8 blocks with this case.
On my back, yeah. And then I had a half a crate of records from me just buying them out of interest. And I just turned a knob, see what they did. And
do you remember what the first record you put on your turntable was?
Yeah, it was a raucous record. I think it was like it might have been 199, the Common Talib record. I had a couple Roots records, some Mos Def records, some Neptunes records, obviously, and then I had maybe 20 records to my name, and I was just trial and error, seeing what everything did.
Also on the scene, so you've been doing it for a while. How do you look at like where the just 757 creative scene is right now compared to what it was back then? Like, would you say we have a scene? Like a lot of people still, I feel like, don't even see it. Like, I don't know.
That's the
what do you think about the scene right now?
If you haven't seen it through the different times to where there was nothing, like we have more opportunity than ever. Like to me, especially for younger up and coming. I mean, there's festivals looking for untapped talent specifically. Like they're tired of putting the same acts on. But the fact that you have, I mean, nowadays we have multiple music festivals that come to this area, no matter what the genre is, but there are multiple. Even something in the water, giving local stages to local artists to work, which, I mean, Tap, I got to give Shag credit on that one. He was one of the first ones to create a show that gave local artists that opportunity to open up for a national act and didn't charge them $1,000 to do so. Like those shows, those didn't exist back when I was coming up. I mean, there were DJs not trying to let you in venues at all. Like when I was looking for gigs, they're like, yeah, you can go look elsewhere. Like, this is my bar. Like, I was like, oh, okay. But there's more. You got shows in furniture stores. You got Social Supplies shooting shots. You got Decane doing painting. I mean, we're mixing in multiple media outlets in one party. Like, that's the dopest to me out there. Like, we're all collaborating. That's what I think should happen more, is like just more collaboration. It's only going to help people if you work together. That's how I think all these other big cities got on. Atlanta, they all kind of, I'm not gonna say they rode for each other, but they were together enough. They collaborated enough.
They rocking records. For me, it's also like building our internet presence up. That's what we try to do. And there's like other platforms out here now. You got like Who's Next 757. You got My Block Live, Social Supply.
Yeah.
It's like there's always been, like, we always had dope people, but we never had like we never presented it to the world in the right way.
That's fair.
Like, we never really packaged it up right.
Yeah, it's hard. This area is tough. I feel like this market's like one of the most unique markets in the country.
In what way?
Well, our population's like tidal, just like the water is.
Tidal?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
we're the big military town, whether you like to acknowledge it or not. So when there's boats in here, there's a different buzz in the city. There's money being spent. There's more bodies. There's more heat on the street. But that being said, with a big military presence, a lot of people aren't here for a long time. So they're here for 10 years. Like 10 years sounds like a long time, but not based on like a hometown to where you can feel proud of something. So what I mean by title is like a lot of the population here there's no pride for this area because they're not from here. They might settle here and then they'll learn to love it. But as far as people sticking up for a hometown, it's hard because so many people are in and out of this area with military assignments and whatnot. So like I was one of the few that was never in the military. My parents weren't in the military. So like I'm a local boy to Norfolk, which is, I feel like that's in the minority as far as people who are from Norfolk, born and raised and stayed here.
As somebody that's from Norfolk, how'd you feel about that Keyshawn fight?
That was a top 3 event I've ever attended. As far as energy goes, as far as being a Norfolk event, like we in the scope, we got 3 Norfolk fighters on the bill. Young Crazy bringing out Kelvin.
I think Alonzo Jackson came out with, what did he come out with?
Came out with Keon.
Keon?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Booker T Washington Marching Band is in there.
Came
like
out
Mike
with
Vick's in there,
Keyshawn.
Pusha T's in there, Fam's in there, like Young Money Yawn's in there. Like it was some buzz there. And the fact that you ain't seen a boxing match in Norfolk in 33 years.
Since we actually looked it up, so I did a little video
Sweet
on
Pea,
it.
right?
Sweet Pea Whitaker was the last fight in like '94, and it's also crazy because we had an episode with Clayton Cowell. I don't know if you know who that is. He was on The Voice. He's a singer from out here, like a couple weeks ago, and his dad actually fought Sweet Pea Whitaker back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sweet Pea's a legend. He's pound for pound. But he actually brought out, so that Booker T Marching Band, from what I heard, is a nod to Sweet Pea because Sweet Pea came out of Norfolk State's marching band during that fight.
Was he at the fight? Oh no, he died, right?
Yeah, he passed away.
He got hit by a car, I think.
Yeah. Bad News Bears. He was actually, so I DJ'd an event the night before the first Something in the Water. They had Usher through a skate party at Haga at Shag Spot. And you know, there's celebrities everywhere in this place. Like almost every act that was on the bill that was in town was there. Chad Hugo's there, Pharrell's there, Fam's there, Pusha's there. I didn't take a picture with anybody all night except for Sweet Pea because I seen him in the corner. He was kind of hiding off so we wouldn't have to talk to people. And I ducked off, took a picture without making it obvious just so I could have it. Because I mean, growing up in Norfolk, he's one of the biggest names we got. But yeah, I love watching Sweet Pea, and it's cool to see Keyshawn kind of build that same. I mean, I don't know if it's the same excitement because I wasn't around back then, but everybody seemed very proud. Like in that whole, I mean, the scope was sold out. When's the last time you've seen the scope sold out for anything? Like, I haven't. It's been a minute.
No, I saw a big sense of pride from like all different types of people around that event.
beautiful.
Like that was like one event that I really saw people posting about it on Facebook. Like I rarely ever see like my friends on Facebook talking about some creative shit that's happening in the city.
Right. That's major. I mean, it was on ESPN. I forget which ESPN, but I mean that's big time.
You think the Tank fight is gonna happen?
I would love for it to. That would be cool. I actually got to DJ one of his after parties up in DC. I happened to be in town.
Tanks?
Yeah. And Andrew Hypes had
Bro,
a
switching
gig.
sides. He's switching up.
No, never that. No,
Keyshawn,
I wasn't even hired.